Hello, my name is Liza, and today I'd like to share with you a few items I made to make up this Patriotic tier tray. The first project that we're going to share is this little firecracker bead, string bead. You'll need the stars from Dollar Tree, some wooden beads. I never found them at Dollar Tree, so these are from Amazon. Some red, white, and blue yarn, some red, white, and blue paint, and I'll be using this paint for each project. I put 5 beads on a skewer. I was making 2 beads at a time, so for each firecracker I used 5 beads. And then I painted my stars blue, and I painted my beads red and white. Once my paint was dried on my star, I drilled a hole on the point of the star so that I could attach my beads. So I basically took a piece of yarn and I threaded it through the hole, and then I strung my beads alternating colors. I put a piece of washi tape at the end of my yarn so that I could feed them through the beads, and then I made a tassel and I attached that to the other end. Next, I made a couple of firecrackers. They do look like AAA batteries, but they are actually paint sticks, paintbrush handles after the paintbrushes were thrown away, some cardstock from my stash, double-sided tape or Mod Podge, however you want to attach your paper to the paintbrush. This is some hemp twine that I had in my stash. And here's some red and white baker's twine from Dollar Tree. I cut my dowels from my paintbrushes in half. 2 of them I cut in half, and 1 of them I cut unevenly because I'm making 2 sets of firecrackers. Again, I painted my handles red, white, and blue. I cut my pieces of cardstock big enough to wrap around my dowels, and I used 2-sided tape to attach them, or you could use Mod Podge or any type of glue. Next, I took my hemp twine and I just made little knots and I cut them off, and that's going to be my little wick for my firecracker. So I hot glued them to the top of each one, and then I took 3 and I hot glued them together. And then I just took a piece of the baker's twine and I wrapped it around my firecrackers, and they were complete. Next, I made a USA stack of wooden blocks. So I was lucky to find one of these packages of the small blocks. I painted them red, white, and blue. Then you can either use stickers, hand paint, or I just used my Cricut. And basically, I used the Magenta font, and then you can see the sizes of the circles. And then I just made a square in my Cricut because I wanted to see what my color placement would be. And then I saved them because, I kept forgetting which colors they go to what. But I cut them all out on white paper, and then I actually just painted the red one and the blue one because I needed white. And don't throw the little A part away because, I had to dig through my garbage can. And then I just attached them to the blocks, and I also used the negative portion and I put them on the reverse side of the block so they can be facing either way. Next, I made a patriotic star. I used one of these chunky stars from Dollar Tree, napkins that I had from Dollar Tree. I filled in the hole with some Dollar Tree wood filler, and then I painted my star all sides white, which it doesn't look like it, but I had to go back and paint it later on because you can see the wood through. So just take my word for it, paint the entire thing white, and then figure out how you want to place your napkin on top. It's just the 1 ply, rip the other stuff off, and just Mod Podge it on and sand off the edges and put another layer of Mod Podge, and it was done. Now I have a faux book stack. which is one of these little crates, and some of this gingham ribbon I had left over from Valentine's Day. I painted them painted it red, white, and blue. And then here you could either hand stamp or use your Cricut for some stickers, but I'm a card maker, so I used stamps and embossing powder and a heat gun to make it more permanent. And I added a ribbon, and my book stack was done. And here I'm going to show you just how I put my tiered tray together. Putting the books and the blocks on the bottom, adding the stars, the little the firecracker, and the mini firecrackers, and of course a DollarTree gnome that I was lucky to find. Quarantino and I hope you enjoyed all of our projects. If you did, please give our video a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and as always, if you aren't already subscribing, please consider doing so. Quarantino and I will be back again soon with another project. Thanks for watching. Take care.